What's the difference between The View and Loose Women, then?
It's odd. We do some things differently. You know, we talk a lot of politics.
Yeah,
and stuff.
yeah.
But you have a little more freedom to do the things that you are able to do. So there has to be a way to blend the two.
Yeah.
There has to be a way to blend the two. So just saying,
Yeah.
ITV, there's a way to blend the two.
We would be really happy to come over and just sort of merge forces. That would be fun, wouldn't it?
Well, maybe you want to wait a year or so.
Really?
Just see how everything goes.
Okay.
Probably not the best time.
So speaking of that, how are things in America at the moment?
Interesting.
Yes.
Yeah,
Isn't
you
that
know?
a Chinese curse? May you live in interesting times.
And they got us. We're in it. But you know what? It's always going to be interesting times. It will always be. And you know, our lives don't change, right? Because we still have to feed our families.
Yeah.
We still have to pay our rent. We still have to do all those things. And while all the huzzarai goes on out there, the realities are, you know, we still have to go on.
Yeah, we do.
So, you know, you can grit your teeth and sort of stick your tongue out and hope you got enough to cover all your expenses.
Would you have President Donald Trump on The View? Would you have him on?
We had him years ago, before he was the president, and I don't think he will come back on.
He won't dare.
No, I think it has more to do with, for me, it was, you know, if you're going to insist that someone isn't born in the country, even though and they're born in Hawaii, I mean, you have to be a certain age to know Hawaii was made part of 50 states.
Yeah.
So you want to say, but dude, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And when someone doesn't listen, you just kind of back off. So I've backed off. Whether they would like to have them on, I'm sure they would.
Yeah.
You know, but I'll find a date that I'm not there and they
Okay.
can do it.
Makes it easier for everybody. Now, you're over here to do your one-woman show at the Palladium.
A version of a show that I do. It's not the show from 25 years ago or 35 years ago. It's what I do now, which is just sort of talk about what's happened. You know, once I was the hottest thing in the room.
You are still the hottest thing in the room.
No.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm telling you, I'm
It's
not.
a different kind of heat, but you're the hottest thing in the room.
It's a different kind of heat, and now I'm sweating.
You know what you mean, yes.
Okay, so...
It sold out, so you had to add like another night, another show in
Another
the evening.
evening, yeah.
And that one's going to be a bit naughtier, is it?
Well, and it'll be a bit less... I'm told there will be children in the audience, and I try to be respectful when
even
little
at the
kids.
11 o'clock?
No, not at the 11 o'clock. No, we're not allowing that.
No.
But at the 10:30 show, there'll be more adults. But at the earlier show, there will be kids, and they have questions for me.
Yeah.
So I'll be talking to them about me and what it was like to be a weird little kid, which is what I was. But I was lucky because I had a weird mom.
And a brilliant one.
And a brilliant mother and a great brother. And I was listening to you talk about, you know, where you fall in it.
Yeah.
And I was the baby.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's very bizarre when suddenly the baby is now in the front.
Yeah.
So it's kind of trying to grow up. And I didn't want to, but here I am.
And how are you going to be being back at the Palladium? Because speaking of your mum, your mum sadly passed the last time you were performing at the Palladium.
Yes. Well, I could hear when the offer came in, you know, I could hear my mother saying, "Now look, go back. You might need to live there. Go back. Let them know you want to be in England. Go back." But she was a big fan of my performance, and so I lost my brother also last year. So it's been sort of a double whammy. So I'm doing this because I know they both would have loved to have been here, and they love the Palladium, and they love the country, and they love the nation, and the feeling was, you know, this is the first place I ever thought as a little girl that would be welcoming to me because of the Beatles.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when I was growing up, I'd never seen anything like them. And they came from England. And I thought, well, isn't that interesting? What must that be like? And at some point, they were on some interview show, and they said, you know, you should come over and see what's here. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. And then got here, before I got here, met Julie Brown. Do you remember downtown Julie Brown?
Oh, okay, yeah.
And this was the first time most Americans realized there were people of color in England. Because we never, you see all the movies, you never see any people of color. Honey, I started packing then.